It was left on par to undertake the required ceremonies. Early next morning, a priest was arranged. He came reluctantly. He couldn't be blamed. It hadn't stopped snowing for the past 4 days. More than 3 feet of snow covered the entire expanse of the town, draping it in white as if in mourning for the departed. Hariram's body was taken in the jeep to the cremation grounds. Clearing a small patch, they made the funeral pyre under a makeshift tin roof. It became very difficult to light the damp wood. Finally, Krishan consigned the body to flames after a great struggle and many tins of ghee. The priest half-heartedly chanted mantras for the peace of the departed soul and shivered continuously in the cold. As if this wasn't enough, a raging blizzard struck soon after the pyre was lit. Blinded by the snow crystals, they all had to beat a hasty retreat. The next day, when Krishan and Pitambar went to cremation ground, they were stumped. Hariram's body hadn't burnt completely. The keeper of the cremation ground had neglected his job of watching over the burning pyre. They were now in a dilemma. The best thing now will be to do the needful in Haridwar, suggested Krishan. Hariram's remains were anyway to be taken to Haridwar as customary in Hindu religion. How will we take this half-burnt remains there? Pitambar probed. The interstate bus service has been suspended due to the snowstorms, and I don't think I can take the risk of driving through this storm. We'll get stranded for sure. So don't even make that suggestion to Principal Sahab. Neither were the remains in a condition to be kept for too long. The keeper of the cremation ground suggested burying the remains of Hariram in a suitable place. Realizing it to be the most expedient proposal in the given circumstances, the men complied and kept silent over the whole affair. Early March, with the culmination of the winter break, the hustle-bustle of the institute was restored. In the close-knit community of the center, the death of a young man was shocking, almost unbelievable. Hariram's affable smile, happy-go-lucky persona, and free spirit had fetched him lots of friends among the staff and the students. Now he was so far away from them all. A condolence meeting was held, which was attended by all except one person associated with the community, Raj Vaidya. A senior staff member had returned without his family. His wife, Neema, had stayed back to spend more time with her parents. Looking after the young daughter, just a few months old, was easier with the help of her mother. The routine at the institute resumed. The cold began to wane, and with it memory of the departed. A new man replaced the deceased, and life's routines continued. Summers arrived in May, and Neema Vaidya returned home. The day temperatures were comfortable, 25 degrees, and the nights were cool. The bright sunshine had begun to spread its golden warm cape over the mountains. The honeysuckle creeper scrambling up on one of the pillars in a house's portico was in full bloom and had spread its heavenly aroma far and wide. The chestnut tree was once again filled with prickly fruits. The apple, plum, and apricot trees on the hilly terraces were laden with small unripe fruits. May 10, 1953, around 4 in the afternoon, the routine bustle in the students' hostel adjoining Neema's house was missing. Usually the students returned after classes around this time, but presently the annual examination was going on and today's paper was scheduled for the afternoon. It would finish at 5. Her husband was on duty and hadn't come home for lunch. The hectic toil since the morning had exhausted the mother of 2 children. Ever since her return a few days ago, her 7-month-old Chitra had been a bit cranky, taking time to adjust to her new environment. Her 3-year-old Veera was happy to be back with her father and in an overly playful mood. Today, much to her relief, both her girls had decided on a long afternoon nap. It was a warm, languorous afternoon inducing drowsiness, and Reema had took advantage of the opportunity. A short nap of half an hour was very rejuvenating. Once up, she decided to finish her knitting. There was no season in Shimla when the children could do without the woolens. Opening the window of her sitting room wider to enjoy a fresh, cool breeze, she sat down on an easy chair facing the window with her knitting. She must have been at her work for barely 5 minutes when she dropped a stitch and got focusing on retrieving it. It was then that she heard a voice. Someone greeted her from the open window. "How are you, Mem Sahab?" She raised her eyes from her task to check on the visitor. A man in a loose whitish shirt stood just outside the open window. "Oh, Hari Ram, I'm fine. Seen you after a long time. How are you?" "How's Veera?" "Children are doing well, thank you. I'll take Veera with me." Thank you, Hariram. Not now. She is sleeping. With great difficulty, she went to sleep. Nima smiled. Maybe later in the evening you can take her to play outside. Hariram nodded and left. She found nothing amiss except Hariram had sounded very different. His voice was much deeper and distant, as if he was making an effort to speak. Hariram had often looked after Veera. He was such a fine person. After Chitra had been born, he had been a big help when Nima was struggling alone with the household chores and her children. Before she had gone home to Mandi for winters, he had come so often whenever he had some free time at hand. He loved to play with the little girls, especially Veera, a very happy and lively child, and very pretty with lovely pinkish complexion and large expressive hazel eyes. Ever since she had learned to talk, she had become a non-stop chatterbox. Nima would smile, seeing Hariram burst into laughter at her baby prattle. It will be nice if Hariram came in the evening to take Veera out to play. Raj will come home tired and probably won't have the energy. Nima reflected and continued to knit. Raj came home late that evening, around 6:30. Students had appeared in his subjects exam that day, so it had taken him some time to count the papers and make the bundles. With the bundles under his arm, he reached home with the intention of starting to correct them immediately after his usual cup of tea. The children were up and playful. It was a pleasure to come back home to his lovely family. The couple sat down to their evening tea in the dining corner of the sitting room. Little Chitra was happy, gurgling in her father's lap, and Veera was making all efforts to climb onto his lap too. What an attention seeker she is becoming. Wouldn't let her father have a cup of tea peacefully. Nima gently held the child's hand and pulled her towards her. Veera, go and play with your toys. No, I want to sit on Papa's lap. You take Chitra away, the 3-year-old persisted. Papa is tired, beta. No, Papa is not tired. He will play with me. Now don't be an adamant child and come here. The mother changed her tone to sound firm. Let her be, Nima. She needs an outing. Though I need to start correcting the papers, I'll take the girls out for a while after I finish the tea. No, you don't have to. You can do your corrections. Hariram said he would come take Veera out to play. He's late. Maybe he's on his way. Raj stared at her. What? What did you say? Hariram had come in the afternoon around 4. I told him to come in the evening and take Veera out to play, Nima said. She couldn't understand the changed expression on her husband's face. She lifted her cup to take a sip. Are you sure it was Hariram, the peon? It could have been someone else, Raj said. Nima put her cup down on the saucer. Why someone else? Don't I know Hariram? He used to take Veera out to play so often and at times help me with the household work. It could have been the new peon who had joined recently, Raj affirmed despite his doubts. He knew that the new peon was nowhere close to resembling Hariram. He was short and stout, unlike the deceased man. Moreover, Nima hadn't even met the new peon. What's wrong with Raj? Does he think I can't recognize people well? Why are you saying that? Being away for a few months had not made me forget Hariram's face. When did he come last to help you? Raj spoke wearily, his heart in his mouth. Beads of perspiration had collected on his brows. Nima remained unaware of it all. He came after a long time today. Nima frowned and then said, in fact, for the first time since my return from Mandi. Did he come inside the house? Rima wondered why Raj sounded so anxious and afraid. No, he stood outside at the window. Children were asleep, so I didn't feel the need to let him in. Though he will come now, he said so. Nima sipped tea and watched Raj, looking at the window as if it was something out of this world. Why was he acting so weird? The window was still open. Beyond it, the twilight was slowly slipping into night. Only the patio pillar was faintly visible in the grey haze. The cool breeze of the mountains streamed in generously through the window, wafting in a little chill. Nima couldn't grasp what was making Raj so nervous. He was trying to stand but couldn't since Veera sat at his feet. Nima, please hurry. Shut the window. The desperation in his voice was palpable. Why does he want to shut out the lovely breeze? Nima reluctantly got up. She peeped out of the window. The fragrance of the blooming flowers was heavenly. She took a deep breath and lingered at the window for a few seconds. Nima, shut the window. Raj's voice rumbled, a mixture of concern and fear. Okay, I'm closing it. Why are you getting so worked up? Nima grudgingly closed and bolted the window and returned to finish her tea. She frowned when she took a sip. It had gone cold. She liked to drink it hot. She peeped into Raj's empty cup and then picked up her cup and moved toward the kitchen to reheat it. Raj was sitting absolutely still on his chair, looking pale and disturbed. What's gone wrong with his mood? Nima wondered. Would you like another cup of tea, dear? No. When Nima returned with her steaming cup refilled, she found Raj still sitting frozen in the same pose as she had left him. He was tightly holding on to his daughters. Chitra was peacefully playing with her father's tie. Veera had lovingly rested her head on his chest and was sucking her thumb. Is something the matter? Are you not feeling well? Nima sat down with a cup of tea. I really don't understand. Understand what? Nima lifted her cup and brought it close to her lips. Hariram is dead. What rubbish. He was here around 4 in the evening. She frowned. She was about to take a sip, but her hand froze in midair. Did he die after that? He seemed alright. Was it an accident? No, he died this winter when you were away. Raj spoke slowly. He did not want to frighten Nima, but he hadn't chosen the right moment. A choked scream escaped Nima's throat. She dropped the cup with its hot tea on her lap, scalding her thighs. The cup rolled down, crashed on the floor and broke into fragments. The children got frightened at the clattering and their mother's sudden reaction. They began to wail. Nima's vision automatically traversed through the window. She was relieved it was shut. She was shivering and her burnt thighs hurt, but she remained glued to the chair. The couple gazed at each other. Had Nima known about the man's death and then had seen his ghost, it could have been taken as a figment of her imagination, a hallucination, but she had no inkling to the fact that Hariram had died while she was away to Mandi. No one had bothered to let her know.